Imagine a planet so hot it's literally shredding itself into space. Another with two suns in its sky, and a giant world so puffy it's been called cotton candy. These are not concepts, these are real planets discovered in just the few last years. Astronomers now know more than 7,000 exoplanets, worlds beyond our solar system, and 2025 alone added dozens of new, bizarre members to the cosmic zoo. Some might be capable of supporting life, others are pure nightmares of rock, fire, and supersonic winds. In this video, let's travel to the strangest new alien worlds of 2025, break the myths around Earth 2.0, and see what these planets really tell us about our chances of finding life in the universe. Before diving into the weird stuff, one thing. We are not seeing most of these planets like you see Mars through a telescope. Astronomers infer them from tiny clues like a star dimming by less than 1% when a planet crosses in front of it, a method called the transit technique. Another trick is the wobble method. Planets stuck on their stars, making the star dance slightly. By measuring this wobble with ultra-precise instruments, missions like GEA and surveys like TESS Keck have built catalogs of over 100 new well-measured planets, including many extremes. Only a small fraction are directly imaged by telescopes like Webb, where we literally capture the faint glow of a planet next to its star. So, when you hear a planet with a 5 million mile tail or a word tearing itself apart, remember, for those are not guesses, they are measurements from real light, from real stars. Let's start with one of the most dramatic. A rocky planet called BD plus 044868b, about 140 light years away. It orbits its star in just 30 and a half hours, less than an Earth day. That orbit is so close that its surface temperature climbs to around 1600 degrees Celsius, turning rock into vapor. This world has a tail, not of ice like a normal comet, but of sand-sized particles stripped from its surface, stretching millions of miles behind it. Each orbit it loses material roughly equivalent to the mass of Mount Everest, blasted off by brutal starlight. The only reason we know it's there is because the tail makes the star dim in a strange, uneven way as it passes. Online, you'll hear people call this a doomed Earth clone or suggest our planet might one day look like this. That's myth. BD plus 054868b orbits much closer to its star than Mercury does to the Sun, in a complete different temperature regime. But this planet does tell us something real. Rocky worlds are not always stable islands. In extreme orbits, they can literally boil away into space. And astronomers are not done with it. Follow-up observation with the James Webb Space Telescope aim to analyze the composition of that rocky tail, basically doing geology on a planet we can't see directly by studying the dust it is shedding into space. But if this is what a dying world looks like, What about planets that are just being born? Hundreds of light years away, telescopes have captured images of young gas giants orbiting baby stars still wrapped in disks of dust and gas. In this YSES 1 system, for example, one planet shows dark silicate clouds while another glows with a dusty ring that may be a nursery for forming moons. These images are rare. Only a handful of such moon These images are rare. Only a handful of such moon-forming disks have ever been seen. Think about that. We are watching in infrared the possible birthplaces of future moons. Not in a simulation, in real data. It's like catching our own moon in the act of forming 4.5 billion years ago. Then, there are the worlds with two suns, the real life Tatunis. NASA highlights systems where planets orbit binary stars, meaning they would see double sunrises and double sunset in their skies. People often assume these are automatically better for life. Two stars, more energy. But in reality, complex gravitational forces can make their climates harsh and their orbits unstable. And of course, the internet loves the idea of cotton candy planets. Yes, giants with incredibly low density, so puffy with that a spoonful of their atmosphere would weigh almost nothing compared to Jupiter. Surveys like TESS Keck and follow-up observations have confirmed multiple super puff words challenging simple models of planet formation. No, you cannot land on them. No, they are not literally made of sugar, but they force scientists to rethink how gas giants grow and keep their atmosphere. So, we have worlds tearing themselves apart, others still being built, and some defying our ideas of what a normal planet even is. What but the question everyone really cares about is simple. Among all these extremes, where could life actually exist? A popular myth says scientists keep finding Earth 2.0. The reality is more nuanced. Yes, there are super Earths and potentially habitable worlds in their star's Goldilocks zone, like newly reported super Earth candidates that could sustain liquid water. But habitable zone only means the right amount of starlight. It doesn't guarantee oceans, oxygen of life. In 2025, astronomers are beginning to probe the atmospheres of some of these worlds, measuring molecules like water vapor, carbon dioxide, and methane using telescopes such as Webb. There are even catalogs now of over 100 well characterized planets, with both mass and radius measured, allowing scientists to ask, is our solar system ordinary or are we the weird ones? From a planet that shreds itself into a sandstorm tail, to dark giants under twin suns, to infant worlds wrapped in moon forming dust, these discoveries are not just trivia, they are data points in a much bigger story. How common are worlds like ours, and how rare is a place that can look up at the sky and ask that question? So, next time you step outside at night, remember somewhere out there, right now, a planet is evaporating, another is forming moons, another might be quietly hosting its own version of life, and we have only just started reading the first pages of that cosmic catalog. If you want a part 2 on the most dangerous exoplanets, worlds with molten Iron Rain, rogue planets drifting in darkness, and more. Tell me in the comments. And if this journey through strange new worlds made space feel a bit more real, you know what to do. This is your universe. Stay curious.